Good morning, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1171. I am 32 minutes late. I am so sorry. I overslept. And then I decided to put everything together and I said, okay, forget the makeup except for just get on some eyeliner. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't see. Yeah, where are my glasses? Oh, hold on a second. Um, oh, goodness gracious. Get my glasses. I'm getting my glasses. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry. Uh, all right. All right. So now you can see me. I can see you. It looks like I'm in the right place. Okay. Good. Okay. Thornton. Goodness gracious. Okay. Thornton. It's Thornton. Thornton Wilder. Thornton Wilder. I don't know why the whole thing didn't show up. But this is how I'm going to do it in San Diego tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I will leave for San Diego. I will be there for a few days, and we're going to see our background look like this instead, as usual. And let's see. I got to find the page we're on. Where did I put it? The book. Oh my god. I'm sorry. You guys, I overslept is what happened. Um so let me see. I'll be right back. I have to get the book that has the one that has the comments in it. I mean, not comments, but I am trying to okay, I won't find it. I did not put it here. Uh I have to find my book. Okay, well, I have the book. It's just that I have two of them. I have one that I'm gonna bring, and one that is here. Uh, okay. Let's see. I can't find it. Okay, where did I put it? The pause. You know as well as I do that the dead don't hold interested in this. Okay, we saw that part. I forget that life. I know it's all I had. Mother gives how. Uh. Oh, here we are. Okay. Act 3, we're in the cemetery, and the people who are already buried are talking to each other. And sorry about the uh, hair. I guess it's my hair. Oh, that's why. It's because my hair is black and part of the background is black. I see. Anyway, Emily says, but it's a thing I must know for myself. Good thing you can't see that. Um, Mrs. Gibbs, no, at least choose an unimportant day. Choose the least important day of your life. It will be important enough, Emily says to herself. Then it can't be since I was married or since the baby was born. And then anyway she chooses this is 1899, 14 years ago. Emily is in the flashback. Oh, that's the town I knew as a little girl. And look, there's the old white fence that used to be around our house. Oh, I'd forgotten that. Oh, I love it so. Are they inside? Stage manager. Yes, your mother will be coming downstairs in a minute to make breakfast. Emily, softly. Will she? Stage manager. And you remember your father had been away for several days. He came back on the early morning train. Emily. No. Stage manager. He'd been back to his college to make a speech to in Western New York at Clinton. Emily says, "Look, there's Howie Newsome. There's our policeman, but he's dead. He died." The voice of Howie Newsome, Constable Warren, and Joe Crowell Jr. are heard at the left of the stage. Emily listens in delight. Howie Newsome. Whoa, Bessie. Morning, Bill. Constable Warren. Morning, Howie. Howie Newsome. You're up early. Constable Warren. Been rescuing a party. Damn near froze to death. Down by Polish town there. Got drunk and lay out in the snowdrifts. Thought he was in bed when I shook him. Emily. Why, there's Joe Crowell. Joe Crowell. Good morning, Mr. Warren. Morning, Howie. Mrs. Webb has appeared in her kitchen, but Emily does not see her until she calls. Mrs. Webb. Children! Wally! Emily, time to get up. Emily. Mama, I'm here. Oh, how young Mama looks. I didn't know Mama was ever that young. Mrs. Webb, you can come and dress by the kitchen fire if you like, but hurry. Howie Newsom has entered along Main Street and brings the milk to Mrs. Webb's door. Good morning, Mr. Newsom. Ooh, it's cold. Howie Newsom, 10 below my barn. Oh, 10 below by my barn, Mrs. Webb. Mrs. Webb, think of it. Keep yourself wrapped up. She takes her bottles in, shuddering. Emily, with an effort, Mama, I can't find my blue hair ribbon anywhere. Mrs. Webb, just open your eyes, dear, that's all. I laid it out for you special on the dresser there. If it were a snake, it would bite you. Emily, yes, yes. She puts her hand on her heart. Mr. Webb comes along Main Street where he meets Constable Warren. Their movements and voices are incredibly lively in the sharp air. Mr. Webb, good morning, Bill. Constable Warren, good morning, Mr. Webb. You're up early. Mr. Webb, yes, just been back to my old college in New York State. Been any trouble here? Constable Warren, well, I was called up this morning to rescue a Polish fella. Damn near froze to death, he was. Mr. Webb, we must get it in the paper. Constable Warren, wasn't much. He says, 'twasn't much. Emily whispers, Papa. Mr. Webb shakes the snow off his feet and enters the house. Constable Warren goes off right. Mr. Webb, good morning, Mother. Mrs. Webb, how'd it go, Charles? Mr. Webb, oh, fine, I guess. I told him a few things. Everything all right here? Mrs. Webb, yes. Can't think of anything that's happened special. Been right cold. Howie Newsom says it's 10 below over to his barn. Mr. Webb, yes, well, it's colder than that at Hamilton College. Students' ears are falling off. It ain't Christian. Paper have any mistakes in it? Mrs. Webb, none that I noticed. Coffee's ready when you want it. He starts upstairs. Charles, don't forget. Emily's birthday. Did you remember to get her something? Mr. Webb, patting his pocket. Yes, I've got something here. Calling up the stairs. Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl? He goes off left. Mrs. Webb, don't interrupt her now, Charles. You can see her at breakfast. She's slow enough as it is. Hurry up, children. It's 7 o'clock. Now, I don't want to call you again. Emily softly, more in wonder than in grief. I can't bear it. They're so young and beautiful. Why did they ever have to get old? Mama, I'm here. I'm grown up. I love you all, everything. I can't look at everything hard enough. She looks questioningly at the stage manager, saying or suggesting, Can I go in? He nods briefly. She crosses to the inner door to the kitchen, left of her mother, as though entering the kitchen, says, suggesting the voice of the girl of 12, Good morning, Mama. Mrs. Webb, crossing to embrace and kiss her in her characteristic matter-of-fact manner. Well, now, dear, a very happy birthday to my girl and many happy returns. There are some surprises waiting for you on the kitchen table. Emily, oh, Mama, you shouldn't have. She throws an anguished glance at the stage manager. I can't. Mrs. Webb, facing the audience over her stove. But birthday or no birthday, I want you to eat your breakfast good and slow. I want you to grow up and be a good, strong girl. That in the blue paper is from your Aunt Carrie, and I reckon you can guess who bought the postcard album. I found it on the doorstep when I brought in the milk. George Gibbs must have come over in the cold pretty early, right? Nice of him. Emily to herself, oh, George, I'd forgotten that. Mrs. Webb, chew that bacon good and slow. It'll help you warm on a cold day. With mounting urgency, Emily says, Oh, Mama, just look at me 1 minute as though you really saw me, Mama. 14 years have gone by. I'm dead. You're a grandmother, Mama. I married George Gibbs, Mama. Wally's dead too, Mama. His appendix burst up on a camping trip to North Conway. We felt just terrible about it. Don't you remember? But just for a moment now, we're all together. Mama, just for a moment, we're happy. Let's look at one another. Mrs. Webb, that in the yellow paper is something I found in the attic among your grandfather's things. You're old enough to wear it now, and I thought you'd like it. Emily, and this is from you, Ma. And this is from you. Why, Mama, it's just lovely, and it's just what I wanted. It's beautiful. She flings her arms around her mother's neck. Her mother goes on with her cooking, but is pleased. Mrs. Webb, well, I hoped you'd like it. Hunted all over. Your Aunt North couldn't find one in Concord, so I had to send all the way to Boston. Laughing. Wally has something for you, too. He made it at manual training class, and he's very proud of it. Be sure you make a big fuss about it. Your father has a surprise for you, too. Don't know what it is myself. Here he comes. Mrs. Webb, off stage. Mr. Webb, off stage. Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl? Emily, in a loud voice to the stage manager. I can't go in. It goes so fast. We don't have time to look at one another. She breaks down sobbing. The lights dim on the left half of the stage. Mrs. Webb disappears. I didn't realize all that was going on, and we never noticed. Take me back up the hill to my grave, but first wait, one more look. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners, Mama and Papa. Goodbye to clocks ticking and Mama's sunflowers and food and coffee and new iron dresses and hot baths and sleeping and waking up. Oh, Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you. She looks toward the stage manager and asks abruptly through her tears, do any human beings ever realize life while they live it every minute? Stage manager, no. Pause. The saints and poets, maybe, they do some. Emily says, I'm ready to go back. She returns to her chair beside Mrs. Gibbs. Pause. Mrs. Gibbs, were you happy? Emily, no. I should have listened to you. That's all human beings are, just blind people. Look, Mrs. Gibbs. Look, it's clearing up. The stars are coming out. Emily, oh, Mr. Stimson, I should have listened to them. Simon Stimson with mounting violence bitingly. Yes, now you know. Now you know. That's what it was to be alive, to move about in a cloud of ignorance, to go up and down, the trampling on the feelings of those about you, to spend and waste time as though you had 1,000,000 years, to be always at the mercy of one self-centered passion or another. Now you know. That's the happy existence you wanted to go back to, ignorance and blindness. Mrs. Gibbs, spiritedly. Simon Stimson, that ain't the whole truth, and you know it. Emily, look at that star. I forget its name. A man among the dead. My boy Joel was a sailor, knew 'em all. He'd sit on the porch evenings and tell 'em all by name. Yes, sir, wonderful. Another man among the dead. The stars, mighty good company. A woman among the dead. Yes, it is. Simon Stimson. Here's one of them coming. The dead. That's funny. Tain't no time for one of them to be here, goodness sakes. Emily. Mother Gibbs, it's George. Mrs. Gibbs. Shh, dear, just rest yourself. Emily. It's George. George enters from the left and slowly comes toward them. A man from among the dead. And my boy Joel, who knew the stars, he used to say it took millions of years for that speck of light to get to the earth. Don't seem like a body could believe it, but that's what he used to say. Millions of years. George sinks to his knees, then falls length at Emily's feet. A woman among the dead. Goodness, that ain't no way to behave. Mrs. Soames. He ought to be home. Emily. Mother Gibbs? Mrs. Gibbs. Yes, Emily? Emily. They don't understand, do they? Mrs. Gibbs. No, dear, they don't understand. The stage manager appears at the right, one hand on a dark curtain which he slowly draws across the scene. In the distance, a clock is heard striking the hour very faintly. Stage manager. Most everybody's asleep in Grover's Corners. There are a few lights on. Shorty Hawkins down at the depot has just watched the Albany train go by, and at the livery stable somebody's setting up late and talking. Yes, it's clearing up. There are the stars doing their old crisscross journeys in the sky. Scholars haven't settled the matter yet, but they seem to think there are no living beings up there, but just chalk. or fire. Only this one is straining away all the time to make something of it itself. The strain's so bad that every 16 hours everybody lies down and gets a rest. He winds his watch. 11 o'clock in Glover's Corners. You get a good rest too. Good night. The end. That was Thornton Wilder's Our Town. And I'm sorry I was so late, but I hope you had a great time. Next week we will be starting on another book. I will say it's most likely Grass Soup, but the thing is that I'm going to be in San Diego and I'm not going to bring that book with me. So I will probably start another story if we're in San Diego still on Sunday, which I do not perceive as happening. So, okay, I will talk to you again later. Tomorrow will be miscellaneous Monday for Marcus Aurelius Meditations. And I hope you guys had a great time. Thank you, John Clark, for coming. Thank you, Tom Krebs. For coming. Liz Rose Cantara, happy belated birthday and happy anniversary on Tuesday. And Candace Richardson Solomon. And that's it. I will just talk to you later, guys. Okay. Old Kinderhook. Bye bye.